Chris and Jason from EMR. They're going to describe what their product is and a little bit about themselves as well. So, Jason, can you describe what is EMR?
So EMR is a combination department. What we do is billing, and we provide a software for charting. And Chris can kind of go more into how long we've been doing it and what we've been doing. And
Yeah, can you talk about the history of the company?
Jason's dad and I have been paramedics for a really long time. I have a computer science background. He has some billing expertise, and about 12 or 13 years ago, we decided that we just an epiphany one day. Hey, we should do this, and ever since then, we've been. Our goal is to allow our clients to afford a spectacular electronic documentation product and maximize their revenue recovery to keep. We kind of see it as a circle. You pay people you have people in the seats, they do the call, we collect as much money as you can to then afford to have people back in the seats. And that's what we do.
Yeah, so all around it just kind of helps with staffing, with documentation, with a lot of the administrative side to EMS. So not the lights and sirens, the behind the scenes kind of deal. Now you both are active paramedics, is that correct? Or where do you ride with?
So I work full-time at Colony EMS, and I'm a part-time paramedic at Luzerne in Warren County. I've been in EMS for about 10 years now, and I've been a paramedic for 6.
Excellent. And you, Chris?
I've been a paramedic a really long time. I started in Granville, and I've been in Colony for just shy of 30 years.
So Jason, one of the products that EMR offers is IPCR. Can you kind of talk about what that product looks like and how it could benefit an agency?
Yep. So the nice thing about IPCR is it's an Apple-based product. So it works very well with Apple products such as iPads. And the reason why we went with it is iPads are a lot easier to use with the technology the way it is these days, being able to have mobile data, so on and so forth. But the program itself is really user-friendly. A lot of people get intimidated by electronic charting, but the one nice thing that is nice about IPCR is it gives you that option to narrate what basically happened versus some other companies where it doesn't offer all that. And what we like is making sure that we CYA everything, especially in EMS, so everything that goes on day to day, you want to make sure that you're covered. That's a nice feature about this program is it allows you to do that.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of electronic features, but also I've used IPCR. I'm a fan of IPCR, but it kind of standardizes everything, the report process, but also the follow-up process as well. Because what normally happens with a report after it's written? Can you kind of describe that with us?
Sure. For agencies with in-house QI, the PCR kind of branches into 2 lives. It's in-house QI for the medical and compliance component, and then it goes off to billing, where our providers review the PCR. Every PCR gets overread by one of our paramedics to make sure it's compliant. There's signatures, there's medical necessity, and we assign the correct charges. And then we make sure it's appropriately entered into the billing software, and the billing life cycle goes from there. But it really has 2 lives. There's the medical and agency compliance and billing. And a lot of times they talk back and forth, where if your agency QI person says, hey, did you give an aspirin on this one? If you left it out in the chart, it gets updated, then billing gets updated so that we know that, yeah, you gave aspirin on this one. So.
And being in EMS for a while, between the both of you, you probably both started out with written PCRs. You both use IPCR now, I'm assuming. Can you kind of describe how that's changed your care process?
Well, I'll say from my standpoint, I did start with paper PCRs in Colony. And when we went electronic, we went with EMS charts. And in my opinion, obviously paper PCRs are always quicker no matter what, but it doesn't always cover everything. And the other hard part about paper PCRs is penmanship. And people are not always the cleanest in writing. I'm the same way. So the nice thing about having electronic charting is now you can type it all out. You're literally telling the story from front to back. Versus and spell check, that's huge. Spell check is huge, but the downside to paper is that people get their hands cramp or whatever, and they're like, screw this, I'm just gonna write the last sentence here and be done and call it good. Where you're more apt on an electronic chart to just front to back do it the right way. So, and there's checks and balances with electronic, where paper, there's not really a check and balance. You write it and you submit it, yeah, it gets QA'd, but it may not get QA'd for 2 or 3 weeks, and that provider's like, I don't really remember because I didn't write enough. Right. So that's my take on the difference.
So Chris, where can people find out more information about EMR and the products that you guys offer?
Well, we're on Facebook. Our website is www.emr-llc.com, and if you just want to email a contact, it's info@emr-llc.com.
Excellent. And certainly if they're here, come and check you guys out at the IAC conference. You'll probably be here next year as well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, Chris and Jason, thank you guys for your time today. Be sure to check out EMR at their website. We'll post a link below as well, and have a great one.